It's Championship Sunday here at the QPL Stage 1 Finals. 2 days of amazing action, and today's going to be no different. In fact, as explosive as both of the first 2 days combined. Joining me on the desk now, Lethal and ZSX. Good morning, gentlemen. How's it going?
Yeah, going well. It's been a good afternoon of action so far from what we've seen in that last series. Very, very close, but now rapha versus RAISY, another great match, which we're very much looking forward to. But interesting to see if it's going to be, history repeating itself, because rapha has always been smashing RAISY about constantly the last couple of times they've played. But we'll have to see if RAISY can step his game up.
I'm really excited to be on the desk with Lethal, first time all event, and he's the only person that makes me look semi-human, so I'm not a vampire anymore, which is really, really good. But like Lethal said, we casted rapha RAISY in the final twice last time, and there's a bit of a mental block there. So the challenge for me is, can RAISY overcome that?
Yeah, I mean, a great semifinal matchup. The winner of this map will go on to face Kilson. The loser will go on to face Base. So either way you go, it's going to be, a rough journey for winner or loser. Now, the other thing that's really interesting, and let's talk about rapha first, he has not dropped a map in the QPL since playing against Wenger, where he went 3-1. You mentioned earlier, or just a moment ago, that the rapha RAISY final ended up in a 4-0 victory for rapha, an incredible feat. But people are wondering, is this going to be the matchup where rapha finally drops a map? And you can see it right there, 3-0 across the board. Lethal, pretty impressive to see happen in any version of Quake, really.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen enough 3-0s actually. I think rapha just needs just a few more to maybe add to his tally, but hey ho, as the stats speak for themselves. Not dropped a map 40 series in a row. Even last season he didn't drop a series. It's just absolutely unreal. The man's a machine, but one of the best things about his attributes compared to everyone else is his work ethic. You can tell that he's not the kind of guy who goes into autopilot when he tries to learn from his mistakes and try and rectify anything. He really is one of the strongest opponents. And like you said about the series scoreline and the maps he's won, that's not even just for Quake, it's just esports overall. It's extremely rare to see that kind of tally.
Yeah, I mean, as you just alluded to, I think he's only lost one series in a year, and that was that absurd final to Kilson, which seems like a lifetime ago, which could quite be a repeat this time around, the way Kilson's playing as well. So, I mean, if I'm a betting man, which I'm not, I haven't got any Twitch points, I would definitely go all in on RAISY on this one.
Yeah, there's a few other that have lost all of their points too. And let's talk about his opponent, RAISY. The terminology thrown around is that rapha might be RAISY's kryptonite, and the only way to get rid of a statement like that is to effectively beat your opponent. And that's the big question, is that we know that RAISY has the skill set, we know that he has the fortitude to be able to do it, but he just hasn't been able to break through versus rapha as an opponent. Lethal, I mean, is this the moment, right? We've seen RAISY with some great play all weekend long. Can he do it here?
I hope so, for his sake. Like, every time he's faced rapha, it's been from the loser bracket, so there's been a lot of, opinions flying around, like, is it a mental block? Is he just running out of stamina? Like, is his style just not suited against rapha? It's a lot of different things. It's kind of like rock, paper, scissors, really, where, Wenger, I've seen him put up a much better fight against rapha in a series, but then rapha takes him down, not as comfortably. But then RAISY could beat Wenger, but rapha takes RAISY down quite comfortably. So it's very, very strange. But it's been quite a few months. It's been 4 months since these two have actually played against each other, and hopefully RAISY's made some dramatic improvements compared to when we last saw them against each other.
Yeah, I think RAISY needs to take his game even to a new level. The way we see this matchup go in the past is that rapha has this amazing metagame where some of his picks against RAISY look a little bit unorthodox, but then the game plan just works absolutely perfectly. Obviously, the one that stands out is that Clutch Athena matchup on Blood Covenant. And so if RAISY then can evolve his game to think about what rapha is going to do more so than just how to maximize his own output, that's when I think he's going to be on a bit more of an even playing field. And if he wins a map, that's a big victory, and then can, as you say, maybe eradicate some of that tension he feels going into the ring with rapha.
Yeah, and both of these players have certainly been showing exceptional decision-making, exceptional aim all weekend long. So as long as they bring what they have brought throughout the entire 3 days here, I think that we're going to see a great series. But it's all going to kind of land on what these picks and bans are going to play out. And again, this is a best of 5, so we're going to go deep here. And here we go. We've got Ruins, Blood Covenant, Awoken, Corrupted Keep, and Deep Embrace.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say, looking at that first ban, Tower of Koth from RAISY, decides to ban that straight away. I think it could be a good pick just due to the fact that it's quite a recent map. Not many people have played it or established a meta on it so far. But after seeing Rapha playing against Cypher, Rapha has done his homework on that map. He doesn't want to take the risk. You can see RAISY is more going for the comfort picks rather than the counter picks. But Ruins, for the Strog versus the Sorlag, that would be quite interesting. If RAISY gets the first frag, then it's ball in his court. He's got the mobility and the velocity to kind of dictate the pace of the game and with the wide range of strategies. But we've seen a lot of Nyx on Blood Covenant, but the Slash versus Nyx should be a great one. Visor versus Awoken, don't see Visor too often on that map. The Anarchy versus the BJ on the Corrupted Keep. I'm quite surprised because the last time these two play against each other, Rapha absolutely slaughtered RAISY on Corrupted Keep, which is why Rapha, of course, has chosen that pick. But the Eisen versus the Ranger Deep Embrace, RAISY could be looking to leave those traps, especially around the heavy, in case Rapha does try and contest at any time.
I really like this board. What's really interesting on the start is the bans, and something I was going to point out earlier is the prevalence of heavy champions this whole event. I think that people are adapting their game, and heavy champions have been kind of the real stars of the show. And Scalebearer got a respect ban given the power of that champion as well, which I like to see. I think the most interesting matchup is going to be the Nyx versus the Slash, just because Nyx can have an awfully hard time against the speed of Slash coming out there, but it is on Blood Covenant where she can be ultra defensive, and so it's interesting seeing RAISY going for that. The rest of the board match up extremely well. Again, Anarchy versus BJ, I think is actually a good response. We've seen how effective Rapha is with the Blazkowicz on that map, but Anarchy has a good rebuttal with the speed and the air movement, obviously the inject as well, so that's actually a nice response. And we've got a big banger to start with a lot of speed and a lot of aggression, because both these guys are going to want to fight with those two champions, Strog and the Sorlag.
Yeah, agree with everything you just said except for the Scalebearer ban. That was a free win that he did. Gentlemen, this is going to be an exciting one. I know everyone's ready to throw out their channel points in terms of predictions. Before we hop into this one, do you want to throw out any yourself, Lethal? I'll start with you.
Oh, I'm not really too sure. I don't think it's going to be as one-sided as before from what we've seen in the matchups, but I think Rapha's still going to take it, but 3-1, I reckon.
Yeah, that's the most even draft I've seen for these two players. That normally it's RAISY getting heavily outpicked. I do think Rapha just edges it. I'm going to say 3-1 as well.
All right. Well, I'll just say agree that I think Rapha will pull this one out, but I'm going to say we're going to go all 5 maps, and we're not going to see the first map drop, but a second map drop. I feel like, RAISY's done. He's got to erase that 4-0 from history, and it's got to happen right here in the semifinal matchup. So I'm going to hit the sidelines here. I'm going to go watch in the VIP suite here at the QPL, and I'm going to leave it all to you. I'll be back after the show.
Thank you very much, Wheats. Yeah, Dan, our first cast together. It's been a long time since we've seen each other, and now we've got such a great matchup. It's going to be fireworks. It's going to be an explosive match. How do you think it's going to pan out for you?
I really don't know. I haven't seen an awful lot of RAISY this event so far. He looked in decent shape, but obviously Rapha just comes in with boundless confidence, and it really is up to RAISY. Can he overcome that mental block of, oh god, it's Rapha again? Could you just imagine the pressure going in against Rapha, let alone in RAISY's shoes when he's just been whitewashed virtually every single time he goes into that position. So I'm feeling a little bit nervous. If I was a RAISY fan, I wouldn't be putting my channel points in his corner. But this is a good first map. He's got a comfortable pick. He's got a comfortable map. He's got there's going to be a lot of action, which should favor him. And if he can then start off strong, I'm not sure which server we're actually starting on. Should feel fairly good about him.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because you've got to remember, we've already spoke about it so many different times. I think personally, it's more of a mental block he just needs to try and surpass. And if he can get through that by at least taking a map that may settle him quite nicely in terms of mentality going through the rest of the matchup. So this first map could be very big for RAISY, but hopefully that won't happen. But we'll have to see what happens during this first map. It is going to be on Ruins, and we're going to see what Raph is up to as we start with his POV.
And we are on the American server, so obviously slightly favouring Raph from that point of view. And he's also got the favoured engagement with position up on this Mega, and that's the worst start possible for RAISY. He's got no weaponry and no items to work with, so if you do have a mental block and you don't like playing Rapha, that's not a good start, but he's found a way to at least get some chip damage on Rapha and scuttle away. Although Rapha knows the advantage he's in and he wants to push here aggressively over on the light. He's got RAISY very much trapped. RAISY will go down. No, he won't. I don't know how he pulled that one out, Lethal.
I have no idea. He was trapped in the courtyard, one of the worst positions on this map with a stack disadvantage. RAISY's going to be feeling very good about that, and I'm still just shocked at how he managed to engage that and still lost. That is unreal. He didn't have all the weapons in his arsenal either, but now Rapha needs to try and make something of this, and RAISY needs to make sure to control these items. A couple of missed rails from Rapha as RAISY now biding his time. Both guys can come at quite similar times, but he's only on 58 HP using a peek and not to the best of its ability. It needs to get away from the 21 HP. Good rail, but it's just not enough as Rapha ties things up.
Yeah, that peeker, if that hit, it would have made the fight very, very scary for the Lizard, but unfortunately not the best so far. And RAISY still on the ropes now. Rapha hitting that rail, and you can see once again using this the tempo of the Sorlag, wanted to keep the pressure on, but RAISY's very comfortable at a fast pace, so he won't be feeling too bad so far with the start.
No, Rapha just chilling for now. RAISY hasn't got the stack he needs. Trying to contest this next item, but Rapha's already dropped down. He's just waiting on heavy. So he should. He's just seeing if RAISY is going to peek out, but he's not going to. Is Rapha now just going to go back through to see what is going to happen with the Mega? He knows RAISY's already there, trying to get an angle from the top of courtyard, but he knows that RAISY's still just hiding behind him. Does he want to risk this? This is a really bad quick point for Rapha. Let's take out the peeker at least, so that's not going to come up for a while as Rapha just really being patient and see if he can get some good damage with the rocket shot. Doesn't get the best, but RAISY's in a great spot now, and Rapha has to pull back and contest the heavy instead.
Yeah, RAISY's going to have to be strong up here on the Mega. It's an important item. Rapha's not going to push it though, respecting that RAISY's there, and a nice rail as well. He could be able to push here as Rapha comes in aggressively. Big rockets from both of them, but Rapha with the quicker switch. His third rail of the game. His rail's not been looking that good so far, which should give RAISY a little bit more confidence. Only 3 of 12.
Yeah, during that first minute, we didn't really see much from it, but yeah, I'm sure he'll be able to rectify that later on. He is up 2-1. 3 minutes have passed. I'm waiting to see what Rapha could be doing here. He's going to go for the portal to see if RAISY will peek out, but RAISY just, again, being patient, using the peeker, not just for the damage, but to feed in some information, but he got both there, so that's plenty to understand what he needs to make in terms of his next motive, but Rapha's just had enough. He's just going to go down for the heavy anyway. Throws out the toxic early, in case RAISY does put any pressure on.
And RAISY is playing this incredibly slow. He's just trying to manage these choke points up on the high ground. He's quite happy for Rapha to push, but not like this. That rocket actually knocked RAISY over the Mega. How unfortunate was that? And Rapha steals it away. He knows how incredibly low RAISY is, but he's going to use this time to sap all of the resources on the map before he goes in for the kill. Really smart play by Rapha just to bide his time, and you can see he's always thinking these steps ahead now. He knows he could have killed RAISY, but in doing so, he would have then opened up RAISY to get back off the spawn. Now he's just taken all of the resources off the map, which sets RAISY back a good minute or so at least. Once again, he's going to rotate around and try. Now he's taken all the big items. He can find his prey.
Yeah, look at the stack advantage Rapha has. He finally sees the light, but it's just too late as Rapha sends him into the darkness. But it's going to catch him on spawn. Bit of a waste of a peeker there, just too much too late. It's already 4-1. Is it going to be 5-1 now? Tries to catch with the gauntlet and kills him with the rail. That was ridiculous, Dan.
Yeah, that was. And it was a really, really clutch play because you saw how the map was beginning to end up after Rapha's domination of all the resources. But RAISY is back into it now. He's got Rapha a little bit trapped. He's only got the rockets to work with, so can't really do any significant damage to RAISY. But RAISY respecting the spit and that machine gun, backing off and taking position here for some chip damage on the rails. And he himself will now sweep up the light armor, reducing Rapha's capability to push. He's going to meet down here as well. Good starting rail. Will he swap? good, he does swap weapon.
RAISY looks much better from what we've seen in previous series. It's a lot more high level consistency. LG still looking very good. Great tracing there. There's a little bit damage with the peak. But rapha, yes, he does. Ties things up for all. And we've seen it before when RAISY plays rapha, that his tracing can be a little bit shaky, but his LG seems to be very calm and is, very stable. And it's a great thing to see, especially in this first map where he has to try and get away here. But the stacks are still quite even.
Yeah, the swap to the Pika is won in that fight fairly comfortably. If it wasn't for that, it would have been awfully close, but he's had to forfeit the heavy as rapha did posture aggressively down there, and RAISY not willing to sacrifice his stack. Have to obviously be very careful when taking these engagements, because any fight that ends up not being clean, rapha will just respawn and run straight back at you. So you need to be so calculated, and this isn't the push to take, as rapha's rockets are raining down through the choke point. And that was a little bit too greedy from RAISY.
Yeah, that was a huge risk. And even if you took that mega, you got the 90 from the rail anyway, but was it worth the risk? Yeah, not too sure. Look at the peaking damage there. Oh my goodness.
Levitated by the little Pika, and the shotgun through the teleport. What is rapha doing? He knew where RAISY was. He goes through, tries to spin on RAISY, does come out on top, but he took an awful lot of damage and was fairly fortunate RAISY didn't connect with the second shotgun blast.
So lucky to get away with that. But at least rapha gets another rail for his troubles. RAISY is railable. But of course, rapha, it makes the assumption that he might have already healed enough, as RAISY's picked up the light in the courtyard, but rapha's picked up the heavy. Just waiting to see where RAISY is. Sees he's directly above him. He's not going to take the risk to rocket jump up. It's going to go straight through to Vitelli, go to the rocket spawn. Going to head back and see if he can find another angle, but not as of yet.
This is a really, really crucial minute for RAISY. It's the first time in the match that rapha has had absolute clean control. You've got a 10-second split now between the two major items, meaning rapha can do more than enough damage, absorb a big stack, take an engagement and pull back, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's chasing down RAISY, he's used the Pika, but that's not the Pika you want to use. He's just sitting there like a lame duck, and he also gets fairly trash spawn over by the rocket, and rapha has great map control.
Yeah, rapha, he did a little bit of warming up at the start, but it seems to be looking a lot better in terms of his aim and his movement. Still has the slightly bigger stack, but not after those two rockets. This is RAISY's opportunity to make something happen. He's only got 2.5 minutes left. He's waiting to see where rapha is going to go, but he's still waiting directly above him here, Dan.
He has no idea when the timings are, though. You could see him peeking back for that mega. He does drop down for the heavy. Don't think he knows exactly when the mega is, though, so he will just go up and just wait for it. It is going to spawn soon, and rapha, he's now gone full defensive mode. As you can see him here, sitting by the jump pad. This is the perfect place to be if you want to be defensive. You've got good audio cues. He hears him scuttling around, and will scuttle through the back channels. And now it's all about the chase. Can RAISY find rapha? He does in this corridor. The lightning arm comes out. Rapha's done a lot of damage, so RAISY got to be careful. And that's a clean frag. This is game on, Lethal. With 2 minutes to go, and RAISY with perfect control. It's all about the chase. And once again, he knows where rapha is. rapha this time decides against the teleporter. Doubles back.
So important. RAISY, if it gets a bit too close in terms of the time limit, he needs to make sure to take this next fight, but take it cleanly. But he's not even going to take it at this moment in time. He's looking at the Pika. Doesn't really do too much there, but he knows he's got away. Manages to get the light from the courtyard. He's going to drop down to heavy to see if he's still there. He is, but he needs to take him down now. But it looks like he won't be able to as rapha sits all the way back into the corner of the LG. Yes, a 2 HP. That is ridiculous. And rapha now has only got 1:15, so he doesn't need to play super passive, but just keep RAISY on his toes and keep him guessing.
RAISY has to push now. He hasn't got any weapons, but he's going to catch him with a shotgun. He doesn't actually hit anything, and rapha bounces him around. That will be the map-winning frag, as RAISY just doesn't connect. And you were absolutely right. There was a degree of time pressure, but RAISY needed to make sure the fight was taken cleanly. And rapha, he was just set up down on that heavy, knowing, look at that spawn, knowing that RAISY needed to take that item. Really smart defensive positional play for rapha, and RAISY fell right into the honey trap.
I love that spawn. It's probably one of the worst that happens.
You saw RAISY just stopped. It's like, what am I meant to do here, Bethesda?
Oh, absolutely nothing. 5 frags up, 20 seconds left. Not going to happen. And they're just going to dilly-dally around the map. We'll just wait until the second map so RAISY can reset his mentality. But in all fairness though, RAISY did look good, better than I expected at the start. But RAISY, there was a few mistakes. He could have made a couple major ones, especially with that Pika. But Dan, it's definitely a lot better than what we expected.
It was definitely a lot better than expected. A really top-notch performance from RAISY. Again, rapha, nice, calculated, smooth. Didn't look as clinical as we've seen him in some of the series so far, but again, he plays strategically very, very well, and that's what you would come to expect from rapha. I guess to reiterate, it was his server, so hopefully RAISY will kind of raise his game now, moving on to his own server.
Yeah, he made a few dents in the armor, showing that rapha is slightly mortal, and he must have got a little bit frustrated at the start. I suppose he didn't expect to see RAISY come all done blazing, but you were right though. The turning point was the full map control and the item control he had during the 6-7 minute mark. I feel like with RAISY, at that point, you need to try and do enough chip damage to even force out a fight. But rapha just wasn't giving him any of those instances. And no spawn frags you saw there again and again. But at least RAISY came back, managed to take him out. But then again, it's a little bit worrying. But I'm glad that RAISY doesn't seem as nervous as you'd once expected. It seems like he's slowly getting over that mental block, even though the scoreline may say otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, you have to take it into context. Look at the start he had. He got the worst spawn possible, got a bit greedy by not going straight for the major item, and rapha just swooped in and took the whole map away. So from second one, RAISY was on the back foot, and this fight was huge. The dodge back from rapha was too strong. RAISY's rockets not connecting. If he had got that frag, we might have been moving into overtime, but that's how small the margins are. It was 12-6, but if he got that frag, it would have been 9-8, I believe, 9-7. So incredibly close between these two, and it was only a few decisions here and there that separated them.
Yeah, look at the damage. 180 more damage for RAISY. So it just shows fair.
Wrong.
He had more
RAISY
map presence. You don't think so, no?
Yeah, I'm gonna call BS on this because I checked the scoreboard at the end and RAISY had 4k damage at least, so not sure where that come from. Anyway,
moving on. We'll just leave that damage aside anyway. We would just pretend we didn't even see that. But still, 4k damage, that's over 700 damage to show that much map presence. And, it just shows that now and again he did have item control, but at the same time, when you've got more of the item control in terms of rapha, it is your job to do the chip damage. You are going to get the first shot most of the time because with the huge stack, you have to be the aggressor.
Exactly, and particularly going against Sorlag once again, you're inherently going to have less of the items because she can bully you off of them. And rapha didn't play as aggressively as he could, but he was in RAISY's face quite a lot of the time, and RAISY had to play more passive than he perhaps would have liked to, particularly the first 3 or 4 minutes. We saw him camping up here in that T-Con area, trying to control the Mega, and that's what he was doing pretty well. He was goading rapha into these close choke point fights and then trying to back off. And then once again, it was the small decisions that really separated the two. There was a few unusual Pika plays, a few brilliant Pika plays, but I didn't see rapha make as many mistakes as RAISY.
Yeah, they were either good or bad. There was no average, was there, Pika play? There was no nothing in purgatory. But looking at this next map on Blood Covenant, we've got rapha playing as the Slash, RAISY with the Nyx. What do you think of this next matchup and how it could pan out? Because it could be a little bit more different. We've seen rapha play the Slash quite a lot on Blood Covenant throughout the Americas region in the Pro League. So what do you think?
I think it's going to be tough for RAISY, if I'm honest. You have to play absolutely spot on in terms of positioning. You cannot lose concentration for a second. You just don't understand how fast these players play at the top level with Slash. You can't breathe, you can't blink, and she's already on you. So you have to have perfect awareness of what your opponent is doing, where they want to go, and you have to play around them because you are just so incredibly vulnerable as a Nyx. Yes, you have a Ghost Walk, but I mean, sometimes you don't even have a chance to pop it. Things happen so quickly. And so you need to use it cleverly and sparingly because when it's not up, that's when the pressure ramps up even more from the Slash. So what I would like to see from RAISY is to try and play around his rail. He was actually looking really good on the last map, and then there's obviously going to have to try and stick to the high ground and use the double jump to obviously control the bridge, the rocket area, and just keep pestering rapha because that's what he's going to do. He's going to try and close the gap and get in his face.
Any problem rapha will have, though, is just with the Nyx, is the fact that he likes to play for the items quite early. And if someone, with the Nyx, of course, can use the Ghost Walk and get behind him, he can either rocket him away as he times for the item. If they both got the timing, it can be very, very difficult, very tough. We've seen it quite a few times in a lot of series over the weekend. But that's map number 1, all done and dusted. It is 1-0 in favour of rapha as we head into Blood Covenant. For map number 2, Dan, should be another cracker of a game. We'll see if RAISY can try and equalise the scoreline in terms of maps, or if RAISY We'll just see what he can do here as we start from his POV.
Oh no, it's going to happen again. As RAISY got a little bit greedy, I felt that was going to happen. And this is the problem when you go against the Slash. rapha has the whole map. And this is what I mean. You need to put yourself in rapha's shoes. He went to the rail. That's what you would normally do in a pub. And it didn't work. rapha, look at the speed. This is what I mean. You can't breathe. He's on you.
He's going to eat up all the items very quickly too, and it's not going to give RAISY a win of opportunity for a while. Did a bit of damage there, but rapha's already got away. And yeah, like you said, the mobility and the speed of Slash, it's very, very difficult. But RAISY does have a huge stack advantage, so he can make something happen. Maybe use the rockets to cover some of the choke points when rapha tries and goes for one of the items. But we know what rapha's like. He's not stupid. He will be contesting it from across the map. But look at this. First rocket doesn't hit, doesn't do much damage, but a rail of his own for RAISY. He's looking for him, but already rapha has got away, waiting for this next heavy cut in the next few seconds.
Nice.
But this is the opportunity. The trail comes in, but he still goes in, cleans up. Heavy is still up, and now, Dan, the items are segregated enough for RAISY to continue this full map control.
Yep, and as much as RAISY made a big mistake off the start, he's got back into this map so well, and that's, I think, the first big mistake we've seen from rapha. I think he mistimed that heavy. Going there when it's not up for 6-7 seconds, that's not very rapha-esque, and he is back into the game, RAISY, but rapha has now taken away that mega and reset the stacks.
RAISY, not really too much damage, just first with the LG, but it was going so fast, he couldn't really do much there. But RAISY been taken down by rapha as he was waiting for the heavy. Maybe waiting a little bit too early there. He was, I wouldn't say playing greedy, but he just wanted to make something happen early on, but it's not going to happen as rapha got the heavy for himself. Was waiting to see if RAISY was going to go around for the lights. He won't. He can stay on that rocket bridge and drop down, and rapha is the one with the item and map control here.
He is, and this is the time now where we're going to have to watch RAISY and see how he does. Plays around that rail, can't contest rapha, just keep a track of what his opponent is doing. He's in and around the mega, but it's not up for a long time, so just going to try and slow it down. And as you say, try and play these choke points, but he doesn't know where rapha is just yet. That's why he's standing open the open, trying to gauge it. Now he knows he can back off and play a bit safer.
Love that play. He left the mega on purpose just so he can flank behind RAISY and get a bit of damage done, and then gone back for the mega. Items are still heavily segregated. Great rail. Will he go for the second? He just barely misses. Seeing RAISY's drop down, he's find a few rockets to see if he double back, but it looks like he won't. As now RAISY managed to get the light and the health bubble from bottom mega. rapha will go back for the heavy, and he just heard RAISY go up that rocket jump pad, but looking very good, very mobile. The movement of rapha's looking very strong. Gets behind RAISY. RAISY to get away. And will he be able to, though? It looks like just barely as rapha continues with that item control.
Yeah, and I'm loving the fact that we're watching RAISY's pop on the defense here. You can see the pressure that he's under. Every corner he turns, rapha is already there waiting. But he's evading him for now. The problem is he's not doing any significant damage, but that's fine. Nyx is all about choosing the right fight. You can be absolutely hidden for large periods of the map. As long as you choose your fight right, it's absolutely fine. RAISY wants this to be a low scoreline game. But rapha, again, just making sure RAISY is always low enough that he cannot pressure rapha at all. And he is absolutely scooping up all the items to the point where he can just go in there. The Ghost was going to come out, but that's step one for rapha.
Oh, no, return rail, very risky. But it needs to get some damage done. RAISY's looking to play that range game, so at least he can do some chip before he goes in for the kill. But with rapha's speed and momentum going across the map, even if he does get one rail off, he'll keep him back a little bit. But he might already be close range to him. Nice LG there from RAISY just to keep him back a little bit. But rapha's already gone for the mega. So now we need to see RAISY contest these items a little bit better than what we've seen in previous minutes.
He just can't get a foothold on any items whatsoever. And rapha's even at the point now where he's taking away the lights, damaging himself to pick up the light up top. So RAISY is going to be stuck with his starting stack for quite a while. And every time he takes a single rail, it's going to set him back another 30 seconds or so.
rapha managed to pick up the heavy, just looking at the item control. Damage has exchanged, but rapha's just going to keep that height advantage in case he hasn't run away and he's just standing still somewhere waiting for rapha to disappear. Look at the item control down to 15.
He knows where RAISY is.
He's Raven, he's spamming straight away on the LG on the light armor. Will he be able to take him? Yes, he does. And extend his lead. And Rapha's 15 items to RAISY's 4. Just unheard of here.
It's the nature of the matchup, and Rapha's slash, particularly on a map like Blood Covenant, is just so damn strong. And at the moment, RAISY didn't have the answer. He's just escaping for his life. And considering he's the one that's trying to chase the lead, that's a pretty pessimistic situation.
It's like RAISY's just trying to survive. It's like he's
Exactly.
delaying the inevitable. He just can't find any window of opportunity, and it's so difficult when you've got Rapha flying around like this with the full item control and just not giving RAISY any chance to have a kind of range game with the rail or with the rockets. Just feels like he's thinking, what can he do? Like, what idea does he have? It's not the fact that he's feeling a bit nervous and pressured. He just hasn't got a way to try and stop him. And the rails from Rapha, considering the light champion of Nyx, just hitting them all, and he's going to try and dive down for the light. Realise it's not fair. Will he better take him out though? RAISY's so weak. Surely, yes he will, but a trade will come in from the LG and the Rockets. RAISY gets the rail spawn, but it's going to come straight. But he needs to hit the second rail. Will he be able to switch to the MG? And Heavy is come up in the next few seconds, Dan.
And finally, for the first time in 6 minutes, RAISY has an item.
Took a while. Got there in the end though. 2 frags behind. This is a great play from RAISY, just going straight in. If he bounces out quickly, he's already got the mega, but he can still do damage and clean up. Oh, Rapha with the mid-air rocket. That was the one frag Rapha managed to get, and RAISY desperately needed. Not going to have a go. 3 minutes and 20 left on the clock.
Yeah, the dodge was insane, and it was the right play from RAISY. He needed to push. Don't know if he had perfect timing on the mega, but Rapha definitely did. Set up there very early. And once again, the momentum is now firmly in Rapha's corner again. He's already setting up for this mega. RAISY just missing out on that rail, and Rapha will skirt back round towards the bridge because he knows that's where RAISY wants to be. The tide has evened up somewhat, but the scoreline is still quite far in Rapha's favour. 3 frags is a lot of Blood Covenant when you've got a Nyx versus a Slash.
It really is, and if you're raining like that at that speed, it's the light of Nyx. Oh, that was very close. He was hoping to get that and then push forward, but it doesn't matter. RAISY has already got the heavy. He's got only a slightly bigger stack, not after that rocket, which was raining down on RAISY. He's still got that height disadvantage, but Rapha was trying to drop down. Great first rail. When he hit the second, he's going to go for the tri-bolt anyway to try and clean up, and that was a great second rail there from Rapha. And he's 4 frags ahead, trying to look to extend it to a 5th. He's already going straight with the LG. He'll be able to finish this. Yes, he does. He was not railable. 44 HP up to 69, and he gets the heavy. Not looking good here, Dan.
Not looking good at all. It's, again, from minute 0, RAISY making the wrong decision to go for the rail, and Rapha with his slash is just so damn strong. I questioned the next pick from the start, and it really hasn't shown us any value, unfortunately. He's been on the back foot the entire time. He's found no way to penetrate Rapha's armor. There's been a few good plays from RAISY that caused at least trades, but you've seen it's been the Rapha show once again.
Uses the Ghost Walk. Rapha only on 35 HP. If RAISY wants to do something, he needs to do it now, but I can't really see Rapha giving him the opportunity. We know some players may, overextend just to add more scoreline to their tally, but Rapha isn't like that. Lovely return rail there from Rapha. 10-3 now. Picks up a few items here and there just to get closer to his default stack, but he needs to try and get away. But with a minute left, and as the slash, I'm pretty sure he should be perfectly fine here.
Yeah, I mean, he got a significant amount more items, 4 times as many megas, nearly double the amount of heavies, nearly equal on lights. It's been, again, just a masterclass from Rapha and a reflection on why people try not to give him a slash. I mean, in best of 5s, you have to ban something and things will be left open. Unfortunately for RAISY, it was the slash, and as it always is with Rapha, he will get the right pick for the right map in the right circumstances, and that's exactly what we've seen here.
8 frags ahead. Good rocket. Rapha just adding salt to the wounds. Manages to get away. Wait for him to re-peak. Misses that last rail. But let's be real, it doesn't matter. The damage has already been done. 11-3 the scoreline. I was just about to say as well, halfway through that game, but at least RAISY's not letting the score get out of hand. But He did towards the end, but that was more due to the fact that he knew there is nothing more he could have done. So that's 2-0 in favor of Rapha. In terms of the damage, just under 700 more for Rapha. So, and look at that, 53% with the slash against the Knicks. And considering the speed he was using to go around the map, but 25 items taken, also 19 lights. That's unreal.
Yeah, the scoreline might not appear to be too drastic, but I can tell you, in RAISY's shoes, that felt absolutely brutal because I mean, every one of his frags he's got were just moments of chaos. They weren't particularly crafted. It was just RAISY's special skills coming through from start to finish. Rapha just absolutely strangled that map, and I'm sure it felt brutal for RAISY. This was a good opening here. Big mistake from Rapha to mistime the heavy. Well, that's what it appeared he did, but from after that, it was the Rapha show for the next 8 minutes, and I think people will take a lot from this about, you know, try not to give him slash if you can, and don't pick Nyx if you've got a slash. They're two big lessons.
Yeah, maybe not choose that. Maybe not give him the picks he needs. But we'll see though. Like, you know, we are going to the third map. A reverse sweep against Rapha is just, you know, if there's a word that's huger than a tall order, then, you know, please tell me, because it's going to be extremely difficult to get 3 maps back to back. Especially, you know, you've got to remember that was on RAISY's server as well, and he makes it look as though that it was on his. But we've got to remember, Rapha has done a lot of prep leading up to the last 7 days in terms of like practicing on EU servers, making sure he can adjust to the pings. But that's the good thing about the Americas region too, is the fact that Rapha's playing a lot of the LATAM players, and it's a big enough ping as it is. So in that kind of retrospect, Rapha could be quite used to it, and that's looking at the damage count. 53% Rail to the 44% of RAISY. Still looking very good for Rapha, like a dominating performance.
Bloody LATAM. They're the key to Rapha's success. You just found the answer. Yeah, I mean, the stats speak for themselves. Those item pickups is what really controlled it, and then the tempo that he set was just way too high for RAISY. He couldn't find an answer. He tried to play around the rail, but as you said, he couldn't find the angles, and Rapha was always on him in a moment's notice. And then Rapha was the one taking initiative to the rail. Just again, the speed that he's moving at, we saw it from RAISY's pod for a lot of that game. He was always just being able to open up the angles earlier than RAISY was able to set them up, and he was just constantly on the run. And when you're fighting for survival, you're kind of delaying the inevitable. You need to try and be proactive, but that was just not the matchup. I felt the best chances he had for victories were going to be maps 1, 3, and 4. So we are now moving on to the Awoken matchup. Doom versus Visor. I think Visor is nowhere near as strong as Doom on this map, but still has a role to play. So once again, Rapha gets the slight pick advantage.
Yeah, I feel like that too. You know, Visor, it's very hard to use him to the best of his ability in terms of this matchup with the Doom, with the mobility of the double jump, you know, holding those top mid angles, managed to get across. It's so much more easier. You know, you can save a little bit of the HP, you know, for rocket jumps as well. It's going to be tough. It's going to be very difficult. I'm not too sure how RAISY's going to do this against the Visor, because I do think about that sometimes. When some people use the Visor on like Corrupted Keep, or maybe on Awoken, it can be questionable, but it depends what their motives are. We don't know, you know, not saying he's got an ace up his sleeve, but maybe it's his style in terms of like keeping him at range so that when he does do the chip, then you can push in forward and at least try and make something happen. But we saw that last time, but, you know, with the speed of the slash in Blood Covenant, RAISY couldn't even keep him back, or it was always sometimes Rapha would actually find him first every single time without fail. And the worst bit is the fact that the paths and the routes Rapha took wasn't the same. They were always unpredictable, and RAISY was not sure where he could be. But we are going to head into map number 3 to see if Rapha will get a clean sweep in a 3-0 victory, or RAISY can start his own reverse sweep, starting with Rapha's POV.
Finally, RAISY gets a major item off the spawn. Takes
Round of
3
applause.
maps. Yeah. I'm really not sure why he's picked the Visor. I mean, there was still a Ranger in the pool, which is a much better pick for this match. So let's see what the strategy is.
Rapha though, biding his time. He was looking to see if RAISY was going for that rail, and he found him. RAISY has the slight stack advantage. He can get the first frag here. Yes, he does. Good start from RAISY. Gets the heavy. Has DLG and the rail, but needs to go for the rockets at some point. But the Berserk, he gets the fist out. He will be able to give him the backhander. Yes, he does. Slaps him across the face. And now Rapha needs to reheal ASAP before he makes the next congestion of his major items.
No lie, that is the most effective use of Berserk I've seen in about 18 months.
It's unreal. I didn't expect him to do it straight away, but will he better take him out with a shotgun? No, he doesn't. Rapha left on 2 measly HP. But at least he can get the Mega, and then RAISY will be going for the heavy. The items are not segregated. Gets at the LG. Good rockets from RAISY. Sadly for Rapha, he was trapped in that corner. And now what's Rapha going to do? Finds him straight away. Hits the first rail. Will he get the second? Yes, he does.
Nice.
Will he go 3 for 3? We're just going to get the shotgun out, cleans him up, gets the lead. 3-2 here, Dan.
Yeah, but Rapha knows he's done a lot of damage to RAISY, and there's a long time before the next major item. So Rapha will be trying to push aggressively for the Mega here, because if he could trap RAISY out the Mega or at least do some damage on it, he'll win himself map control quite easily. Does miss both of his rails, however, so RAISY's done a good job to stabilize.
Just being very patient. Mega's not coming for the next 20 seconds, so he's going to dilly-dally around the spot. Good LG from RAISY.
Wow.
Sadly, the rockets did miss. RAISY predicted to use the LG straight away. Good rocket to keep him back. But the Mega is coming up shortly. Good first rail from RAISY. This is what we want to see. More of this, more of that. See if he can push in and clean him up. Yes, he does, but the trade comes in from Rapha. That is unreal considering the stack he had. And now Rapha's looking good to set the stack. I have no idea, but I think you're going to have to tell me.
Sick rockets.
Good direct.
He's caught RAISY from above, yeah. The dodge and the rockets from Rapha this series have been pivotal. And once again, they do come out. Done a lot of damage to RAISY, enough to offset him. And once again, Rapha, playing the long game, knows he's got his opponent on the ropes, but doesn't want to finish him, wants to sweep up the map before he does that.
RAISY manages to drop down. But Rapha, though, look at the stack. I feel like it's only a matter of time, depending on where RAISY places himself. Just waiting to see where Rapha is going to go, but he's thinking of chasing him down. He's trying to clean him up the LG due to the fact that he knows how weak he is. Needs to pull back, but RAISY just missed a jump. That could cost him here. But look at this, the damage he still took. Rapha could get traded here if he's not careful, but the items aren't coming up for a while. Needs to get the light, needs to get the health bubble. Where's RAISY going to go? He has the rockets, he's going towards the heavy, but he's going to fit a little bit early, but LG through the telly, misses the rail, but he's only on 64 HP. Waits for him to hit, gets the first. RAISY's already got the heavy, but he's still available here, Dan.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why he backed out of the heavy room as it was spawning. RAISY definitely needs to clean up his timing in order to take this map away from Rapha, because you can see the way Rapha plays, it's all about item control. He just wants to strangle you from the map. Doesn't want to give you an inch. Actually, the use of the piercing sight has been phenomenal so far, but actually every single time he's used it, he's got a free rail, so that's been a good choice so far. The nice rocket jump up the rail doesn't connect though, but RAISY wants to keep the pressure up. He knows that Rapha's a little bit weak. Catches him over in banana. The lightning gun comes out. The rockets from Rapha though are phenomenal as well. The rail, fortunately for RAISY, doesn't connect as he can whip back round, pick up this Mega, and keep the pressure on.
You're definitely right about the use of piercing sights. We're just awful analysts, aren't we, Dan? So it's fine. You know, we'll let RAISY take this one. Good first rail. Going to try and finish him off with the LG. Good rocket and the follow-up LG. Tracy's been phenomenal from RAISY, and that's a good thing about the piercing sight. It's not about seeing through walls and trying to find out where your opponent is. It's about lining up those rail shots as he's going to try and flank around banana to see if he can find where Rapha could be. Realizes he's already moved on. Mega is up. He is going to delay it for a little bit. Not really much point of him doing it as of yet. He's going to take damage first, so he can get more nutrition from the Mega. And now he's got atomic control and he's waiting for Rapha to make the first move on that heavy. Still hanging around above it. Will he be able to take him down? Good second rocket. Good LG combo. Gets to heavy. Just to make matters worse for Rapha, he's going to see him get the first rail. He's going to see he can clean him up, but Rapha's already pushed him with the LG. 2 frags behind now.
Decision making from Rapha. As soon as RAISY missed that rail, Rapha was on him in a flash, went straight through the teleporter. RAISY's trying to push in here. The Mega's not up for a few seconds. He does win up that victory. So nice play from both players. And just while we're on the point of talking about abilities, the one thing we didn't consider, Lethal, because we're bad analysts, is the matchup. So the fact is that he's going up against the Noob. He doesn't use his ability. So the thing is, RAISY can get a lot of uptime on this piercing sight. And that's what he's doing. He's really concentrating on using it on cooldown and picking up the time bars as much as he can. And so in that context, it is working out really, really well.
Makes perfect sense. He won't be able to contest these hourglasses much, but the LG from RAISY. Wow, just absolute madman. The tracing just looking ridiculous. Much better showing in this map compared to the previous two. But then again, he has been playing very strong. Just been playing in Rapha's favor. Great rail. Is he going to go for the LG cleanup? Almost manages to, but decides to just sit back, go top mid, finds him, go for the light. One more rail will do it. No, he switches to the LG, hoping to clean up as he falls down. Rapha trying to re-heal, but good stuff from RAISY.
But look at the way rapha's playing here, like, and the way they're both playing. In fact, they both have perfect timing on the items, and so even though sometimes they might be dying, they're doing so much damage and even stealing away the items that neither player can consolidate control. rapha's constantly on RAISY at every single point he can, and then continuing to keep the pressure up if he comes out alive. So it's really great play for both players. That would have been, oh, that was greedy RAISY. Tried to get the little jump up, but rapha does double back. RAISY's low, so once again, rapha will pick up a weapon and just run at his opponent.
And RAISY, if there's a couple of minutes left, with only being 3 or 4 frags behind, you can use that piercing sight to change direction, change his motors in terms of the routes he wants to take to get away from rapha. But he's still very weak. Managed to get the light, but that rail is going to be huge. Good second. Will he go for the third?
Not
No!
again!
Backhands him again. He's going to go top mid to get the light. Finds him going for the rockets, but he can't hit him as of yet. He was still in berserk mode. Uses the shotgun to try and clean him up. RAISY finishes him with the MG 12-7 with nearly 2.5 minutes left.
Someone do a cam check on rapha. I'm pretty sure it's Mike Tyson playing as he gets ringed out! Oh, the double jump can't save you now, and RAISY with a commanding lead, moving into just 2.5 minutes to go on this map. 5 frags the distance. rapha, though, set up for Mega, will be able to wrangle back some control now. Doesn't have any weapons beyond the rail to work with.
Yeah, you can tell rapha's played a bit of Mike Tyson's Punch Out in his day. Done it a couple of times on this map. Good first rail from rapha. This is his chance to come back. A huge stack. The time to rocket jump up, but he is flying high. Gone down low from the LG damage, and already RAISY's got the slightest stack advantages. Takes a bit of damage from the rocket. There is no light. What a rail there from RAISY to extend his lead.
And I think, Lethal, you and I are going to be casting what would have been a miracle, you know? A map loss.
This is just madness. The RAISY we've seen in the last couple of maps in comparison to this is just night and day. It's just unreal, doing a great job. Good first rail from RAISY. Looking to see the rocket jump, great second. Is he going to go for the 3 for 3? Is he going to drop down? Just barely misses from the double jump. rapha loses one for himself, doesn't matter. Cleans him up with the super shotgun. And now he's got top mid control. 1:20 left. There's nothing rapha can do. Just raining him constantly. Good LG. Will he clear out this one? Not yet. rapha tries to get away. So go for the telly. See you later, rapha. 17-7.
But look at RAISY. The thing is, he's such a momentum player. He's now got the confidence. He's flying around the map. He's taking the angles. This is the RAISY we come to expect in the QPL. The one that just absolutely dominates his opponent. And this is rapha we're talking about here. And some of the shots he's hitting. It was a highly contested map for 7 minutes. But then a few engagements went RAISY's way. And all of a sudden, look at him come out. The berserk comes out. This time he doesn't get the punch. And RAISY will be the first person in this season to take him out from rapha.
It's unreal just to say something like that. These rails, RAISY. I was going to say he needs to calm down, but he needs to do it for another 2 more maps if it does go to that potential 5th map. So rapha, his head's going to be shaking a little bit. It's a big scoreline.
I think rapha's done. He should retire forehead.
Well, yeah, I'll agree with that. I shouldn't do, but I'll just agree anyway. But look at that, 12 frags. rapha just needs to reset his mentality. 20-9. You know, when people do beat rapha on a map, the scoreline's normally very close. We've seen it. It's kind of like when you see someone playing against Dewey or Base. Normally the scorelines are quite close, more due to the fact that it's their defensive passive style and how they're counter-aggressive. But 20-9 on his server too.
Yeah, I mean that was the play style you have to play on Doom, and it's what it does work. But it's, you know, you're throwing your body at your opponent in an attempt to whittle them down to wrangle back control. But the thing is, RAISY responded in kind. He was always in rapha's face and just went back at him. And on reflection, I mean, we should never debate a pro, but that visor pick against the Doom worked so damn well because he just kept the uptime on the piercing sight consistently, and it was a really crucial factor in the way RAISY was playing. You can see here actually all of these highlights, he's got permanent vision, so it would have been really difficult for rapha to play because RAISY had the choice of angles and the choice of approaches. So full credit to RAISY.
We're sorry, RAISY. Yeah, we are sorry. We were completely wrong. Like, 100%. You were right, we were wrong. We admit it. It's fine. He just did a great job. And if this continues on, and if this goes to a map number 5, it's going to be the first time we've seen him be taken so far on the pedestal in a very long time. And I can probably make the assumption that a lot of people definitely lost their channel points throughout this map.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens when you give RAISY a starting item, which is less of a rapper. Don't give him a starting item. But full credit to RAISY, he definitely turned up to play on this one. The strategy worked. His aim, as he feels more filled with confidence, got better and better and better. And so if he can continue that momentum moving on now, I said maps 1, 3, and 4 were the ones I was highlighting as ones he had the best chance on. We're moving into map 4. So let's go, RAISY and RAISY fans.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you're absolutely spot on. 63% rail, 6,079 damage, 1,651 more than rapha. That's unreal. The map presence he's shown was just great. But it's like you said, you know, you find his location, and then really fair, when you do see his location with a piercing sight, even if you're at close range, it gives you more comfortability. You can then predict your rockets better. You can line up the rails more. People don't really see too much as that.
1,300 damage more the rail, and a large part of that was piercing sight. That is absurd. Virtually all the damage difference came from just the rail.
RAISY has definitely turned up to the server. 22 items, 20 lights. He was eating everything. He was pretty much Pac-Man here, Dan. But hopefully it continues this strong offense into map number 4. This used to be called RAISY's Keep for a reason. rapha's the one who picked it. Remember what happened last time? It was actually the final map of the Quake World Championships, and rapha took him down heavily. But, you know, it's been 4 months since then. RAISY's looking very good. He has the anarchy, you know, with the inject. He can then eat up the lights and health bubbles if he's in a bad position. But with the BJ, with the dual wield, we'll have to see.
Well, the Anarchy is a decent pick here for those exact reasons, as we actually have the wrong map intro. It is the inject's great. You can use it in combat, and you have the speed to match rapha's tempo. So that's what I am looking for.
Here we go, map number 4. The reverse sweep has started for RAISY, but will it continue? That's going to be another question which will be answered during this saga. rapha, starting with his POV, both of them have traded the major items. Segregation, only about 5 seconds, as rapha's just looking to see where he is. Has the information now from that tri-bolt. RAISY's just standing his ground. rapha just changing angles. Good 50 from that rocket. Are we going to see RAISY try and see what he's up to? Yes, he will, but it's the dual wield. Shotgun comes out. Good start for rapha.
Got to be so careful of that. RAISY trying to manage that choke point. He knew how important the Mega was going to be. It was just a few seconds to go, but rapha busts through with the double shotgun.
Very cheeky. Rocket doesn't do much, just an indication of map presence. Good 2 rockets there, 46 on the last. Using the tri-bolt just to keep him at bay. Both on a similar stack. Mega coming up in the next 5 seconds. What is going to happen? Is rapha going to be able to contest it freely? Or RAISY just going to go straight round? Was considering the flank, but decided to back away. But the thing is, though, RAISY managed to delay him enough there, so it can at least be not get contested for that heavy. But it doesn't go for the telly. Good positional. And now rapha's going to see if he can find him in that red room. But RAISY's just everywhere right now. Not really giving rapha much of a chance. Good LG, though, but he needs to try and back away if he can.
RAISY actually making a real concerted effort to get the time vials. That's what that pathing was all about, to take the ones on both sides of the map. So that was actually really nice from RAISY. And he's in a really strong position to defend this Mega. So he's now on the advance, going for this heavy as well. rapha's there, he's not weak. He has the dual wield to fall back on. RAISY's arrogance to stick around and just man fight that was pretty impressive. But will it pay dividends, as rapha is now raining rockets down from above, and it will not pay dividends.
Real shame. RAISY spawned on the HMG, so at least he could play the range game. Looking to see where he could be going. Little bit of a tickle there, Dan, as he goes down banana straight down to the heavy. It will be up in the next few seconds. RAISY made the assumption that rapha's going to go for the Mega. He had the timing for it. The stacks are very similar. Both items are still up, though. He's trying to bait rapha out, but rapha's already got the heavy. He hasn't even got the Mega. It's not looking too good for RAISY. Could be a mistake there. rapha was still almost traded off and almost taken down, but he managed to get the Mega, and now he's back on his feet here.
Yeah, at the minute the pace is doing good, but rapha's positioning is winning out as he's just trapping RAISY time and time again. So, oh, this is interesting. Just making a little bit of a trap there. rapha not falling for it. I would like to see RAISY slow it even a little bit more, because Raph is just playing around the movement patterns of RAISY and getting some free damage earlier on.
Oh, great.
Nice big rocket.
Oh, that was ridiculous. That was a great way to get back into this matchup. He has picked up the Mega, but Rapha has re-healed almost back to his default stack. Heavy's not for another 15 seconds. It could be an opening window of opportunity here for RAISY, but can't really seem to get hold of him. He's trying to strangle him into a corner, but not giving much room. Tickle of damage again from that rocket, as RAISY is just now going to try and go for that Heavy. Manages to get it, and surely this is a time for him to try and get that first frag if possible.
Yeah, RAISY has full control now. He's busting into the room. Rapha's ready for it, but he's not good enough. He actually misses out on the light as well, which is huge because that restacks RAISY. Didn't even pick up the Mega, so now he is fully chunky, and he's just patrolling the map. That damage from Rapha actually helps RAISY pick up another item. Inject comes out, but he will just back off to defend this Mega. Let Rapha to get away with this one, and RAISY is on the board.
The light in the red room's not going to come out for another 5 seconds, so Rapha does need to leave it. RAISY, though, heavy for him. Inject not going to be up for another 20 seconds, but he has the stack advantage. He's baiting
again,
out the audio.
vials.
Yeah, just abusing everything, and Rapha now directly underneath.
Nice.
Trying to get the Mega, and will he clean up? Yes, he will. Second frag, and look at the stack, though, Dan. RAISY's still looking healthy.
Yep, and he's sweeping up all the items. The pace he's playing it is actually damaging Rapha. Cut nice shotgun through the telly, but it won't be enough as RAISY is still alive and will be able to restack here. Picks up the Heavy. Rapha's done enough damage to feel confident enough to get back out onto the map though, which is huge, just coming up to this Mega as RAISY has to find a way to restack.
RAISY's waiting for him with the
Nice
LG.
double
He
back.
did not expect that. He caught him off guard. The Mega is up though. If he takes him out beforehand, no, he doesn't. Rapha gets the Mega. Uses the HMG to keep his distance going straight in, but surely this is going to be Rapha's. Yeah, he gets the trade in the end. And Rapha's the one who's going to get the spawn next to the Heavy, which has come up in the next few seconds.
He does, but RAISY gets all the weapons that he can actually try and block Rapha from getting anything. He's only got a shotgun to work with. He now has to be a bit careful. He's mistimed that Heavy as well, standing on it. I think he thought it was a few seconds later. Bit of a boo-boo. And he's also given Rapha position on the Mega because of that error, so need to clean that timing up, RAISY.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shame. Oh, RAISY coming straight through. Rapha with the positioning, with the dual wield. He's just trying to bait it out as much as he can to try and delay it as much as possible. Had to give up that Heavy, perfectly understandable. Gets the light, but he can't. He needs to be trapped. He's going to go and try and go for that Mega, but Rapha's the one who still manages to clean up. It's got in the next couple of seconds, but he's going to see if he can take RAISY down first, but lets him get it. He's only on 75 HP, and will RAISY be able to finish up? Not yet, but gets to 50, gets to shards. Back up to the default stack. RAISY's found him with the LG. Can he at least try and clean up the shotguns just out of range? The inject comes through for RAISY, 17 HP. The rockets are flying through from Rapha. This should not be happening. Still 7 HP.
7.
And gets the Heavy too, Dan.
Tick of the LG. Oh my word, they both knew how important that weapon was, but there's still 4 minutes to go, and you can see RAISY is not relenting as the tracking is unreal. Rapha trying to rain down double rockets, and none of them connect.
It's a very common spot for RAISY to stand there, kept him away with the LG, even if Rapha made an attempt for the Mega, which he didn't. He knew he was in a bad spot. Good LG from RAISY, good tracing like you said, Dan. Comes up with the inject, gets the Heavy. Look at the stack of RAISY. Tied 6-all, finds him straight away. He may get the light, but don't think it's going to make too much difference. The rocket saves Rapha to keep him at bay. Good LG again from RAISY. He's going to push straight in. Will he be able to clean up? No, he doesn't. He's going to take the risk. Yes, he does. Rapha was so weak. Gets the Mega, and now he's got to try and find him on spawn again, and there was no lights around for a little bit of time here, Dan.
Lethal, this is so reminiscent of Awoken. You can see Rapha throwing his body at RAISY relentlessly, just trying to get control. And RAISY's hitting everything. He will steal away the Heavy, though. That's a big pickup, and now they are just dueling with the shotgun. RAISY comes out on top, but that last tick of their time bomb gives him enough of a stack to work with an inject. He also gets Rapha through the telly. He takes another frag, gets up the light. He was fine Rapha on the rocket launcher, but decides to back away. And the speed is just too fast for Rapha at this point. Some big rockets though, that mitigates the advances of RAISY, but will he push in? He's still going.
We could be entering into a map 5 here if this keeps up, but Rapha gets a frag back on the board. Good stack using the LG. RAISY's trying to get away with his life. Rapha's just having absolutely none of it. Gets to 2 health bubbles, trying to chase down RAISY. Just a little bit out of range with the LG, but did do a tiny amount of damage to keep him away. But Heavy's not up for another 10 seconds. RAISY still needs to re-heal. He's got the mobility of Anarchy to get away and try and keep Rapha guessing. Again, waiting for it. Finds out he's coming behind him. He did not expect he needs to get away. Yes, he does.
This is huge now. Rapha's got full control. He's got the dual wield up. RAISY, he's stuck in this room, but look at that movement from RAISY. He's too quick. Rapha gets a frag though. RAISY needs to find a way to stay on this map and stay alive. Rapha catching him through the choke point. He's got no inject, but he gets the health bubbles. He will be going down here. He does force the dual wield. That's a little bit of a minor victory. He spawns right by the Mega. He does get it. And Rapha's low. They're both low. Somehow RAISY gets the frag.
How did he do that, Dan? He's so weak. He can easily get traded now, but he gets the 50 from the red room. Gets the LG back. He's going for the light. He has the inject in his back pocket. Direct. Another more damage. 2 HP left. Rapha finishes him off. It's 10-0 and the Megas come up in the next 7 seconds. How is RAISY going to approach this? He is going straight away. He realizes he's there. He is not going to go for it. He's going to go a different route, but he catches him with the LG. Rapha's the one who now finally takes the lead back. He has the Mega. The Heavy is come up in the next 5 seconds. Deals with the shotgun as he pushes in. Will he about to clean him up? RAISY is so weak. He needs to try and back away.
He's going for it.
He's just found him again. Go for the Heavy. 12-10, Dan.
Oh, he knew how big that item was. Now Rapha's fully stacked. He's got the kill on RAISY. He's found him. He's pinned him, and that probably will finish the map. And I have indigestion because this has just been so intense.
I am swearing, but not as much as these 2 juggernauts, as he's trying to find it out and open a window of opportunities. Even if he gets this Mega, he's still got to find 3 frags in 20 seconds. Highly unlikely. Heavy has come up in the next 5. RAISY's going to try and go for it anyway. Good damage with the LG, but it's just not enough. 15 seconds. Tries to clean up. 10 seconds left remaining. That was a real shame, but Dan, what a series. It shows that Rapha is slightly mortal, but RAISY did so well to keep him at bay from the items. Great tracing with the LG, but sadly for him, it just wasn't enough. GG's to both those players. What a series.
GG's indeed. That was gone to the wire. And that last map, a frag the either way would have been a completely different. RAISY would have walked away with that map. That's how close it was. Full respect to him. He didn't retreat within himself. He showed his true colors on Awoken. He showed his true colors on Corrupted Keep. But Rapha today had just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more. It was a real shame indeed. We've got to ask for your thoughts, mate. What did you think of that? You must have been on the edge of your seat the entire time.
That definitely, especially that last map. That's exactly the kind of thing that we hope to see. Really want to call out the performance of RAISY on Awoken. It was phenomenal. I loved the way he approached that map and the score. I mean, you guys said that typically Rapha drops a map and you don't see a score discrepancy like what we saw, but 20-9 is kind of crazy. And you know, I'm happy for RAISY, right? Because I think like that mental block has to be gone now, right? Like he looks at it as like, I can do this. I actually can defeat Rapha. And what I think is going to be really interesting and something I want to ask Rapha is, you know, now that the map blemish is there, right? Like what was it? It was like 39 maps in a row before he had another loss. Like it does that actually help, right? Like not having that little slice of pressure on top of it. But what a great series, from Ruins to Blood, the performance of RAISY on Awoken, and that final game was quite good. You know, honestly, after seeing Rapha on BJ on Corrupted Keep yesterday, I just kind of was almost for sure giving this map to Rapha, but to have RAISY, you know, push it to the limit was pretty great.
Yeah, I think he'll just be reflecting on this series and just saying, oh, why did I not get my major items off the spawn on the first 2, and why did I pick Nyx? They were the 2 big mistakes of the series. I think he matched Rapha blow for blow apart from that. Every single map he lost apart from Blood Covenant could have gone either way. It was a really great performance, and he showed us his true colors and a new side of him in this matchup.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? We've got Rapha on standby here. We get a chance to talk with him as he wins that game, and will go on to face Kilson in the upper bracket finals. Rapha, congratulations on the win. 39, if I'm not mistaken, and my math could be wrong, but some 39 wins, map wins, before finally giving a map up. And, I'm just curious. First off, congratulations. That is freaking incredible. I don't know if that'll ever be repeated ever again. My question is this, does that actually help from a pressure perspective? Like, okay, well, I don't have to worry about like trying to, collect map wins without a loss. And does it just let you say, okay, cool, now I can just play the game that I know I can play?
I mean, I'm always trying to win, so it doesn't really matter or add extra pressure. Just kind of, I think Awoken shows the example of if you're not playing your A+ game against him, what can happen.
Sure.
And I thought that his aim on that map was phenomenal, and I was just really struggling to do what I needed to do, like the clutch little moments to like try to stave off control or just keep him back. So I just mentally reset for the next map. It's not like I haven't lost before, and once that map's over, it's gone. There's nothing you can do about it. So you just need to focus on is there anything from that map that I need to adjust going into the next game, and if so, do it. And that's it. So I just fresh mental slate. That's it. And then just went into the next map.
For the next map, I think it was on the Woken and one you lost on. Is there any mistakes which stick into your mind? Anything were kind of outstand? Because we saw it was quite close to begin with, and then it just kind of escalated. Is there any reason why that happened? Is there any mistakes you feel like was very cost effective and was kind of like your downfall towards the end of that map?
I was just having problems when he was trying to LG. It just seemed like it was really hard to hit LG that game. And then I think at the end I only railed like 29% and he railed 65. So you're not going to win many games when somebody's railing twice as well as you. So it would have had to taken a crazy ass game from me to have pulled that off. But just hats off to him on that. He played phenomenal.
How have you found the tournament as a whole so far? Obviously still performing great, but with the cross-region from the start and I guess the level of competition this time relative to even the Quake World Championships?
I just think, I'm thankful for yesterday. Like the first map, as I expected against whether it was going to be Garpy or Tox, it was going to be a little rough. It's like the first map of the tournament. You're trying to get warmed up. It's normally, especially for here in NA, it's an early game. We're having to wake up much earlier, so just trying to get used to playing your best right away when you get up. But yeah, like as the day went on, I got better and better, and really played the game I needed to play against Cypher. And I think it's just really exciting. And I think moving towards the future, if we have to play, let's say Stage 2 online again, we'll probably do it the same way. I think it's probably been great for all the fans to watch the cross-region matchups right away and then see where it goes from there. So. And I think we're really privileged. Like, not seriously, there's like almost no game out there where you can compete at over 100 ping. You can't. It's a terrible, terrible time. And the fact that in Quake Champions, it's pretty competitive still at like 100 to 115 ping. That's saying something. So I'm really glad that under the circumstances we're all in, not able to have lands, that we're still able to do what we're able to do now. So.
Well, we are definitely excited. You have been bringing us all of the Quake nerd chills all weekend long, so thank you for that, and congratulations again. Real quickly, you now are going to go on to face Kilson in the upper bracket final. Any just initial thoughts on that game?
I didn't get to watch too much, but I think he's playing a really solid game. I think it's kind of like when you go into a tournament and you see that one player, you say, what are your top 3 from each region? And then every now and then you see the one player that's on the fringe who's been playing a little under their normal level. They tend to be the one that steps up come playoff time. They just, in the last week of practice, they find the little inconsistencies in their game, and that's what Kilson has done. So it's going to be a really, really tough matchup, but hopefully I can win it and guarantee myself a spot in the finals.
Well, good luck. We'll be watching and calling the action the whole way there. Congratulations again on your win. Take a break, and we'll see you back in the upper bracket finals here soon.
Thanks, fellas. See you later.
Congrats.
See you later, mate.
Humble guy as always. Gotta love him. And I'm happy too that we can have competitive Quake cross region at this level. It's certainly this weekend has not disappointed, gentlemen, and we still have so much more action. However, now that we've got the upper bracket kind of sorted, we're going to focus our attention once again on the lower bracket. Our next matchup after the break is going to be Wenger versus Cypher. One of these players will advance on. The other one, unfortunately, will go to the tournament graveyard. Who will it be? Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll find out the answer to that question. Thanks for joining us here on Championship Sunday. We'll be right back.